Grinn here, once again, PAX Prime 2014 with Koriel. Hi, how you doing?
Hi, doing really well.
Excellent, excellent. So we're sitting here at the Xing booth, The Land Beyond. Really interesting looking first-person game. Looks like you guys have some Oculus stuff going on too. Why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of who you are and what you do here, and the name of your development studio too.
Sure. So we're a three-man team called White Lotus Interactive, and what I do is a lot of the art, puzzle design, story design. I guess the only thing that I don't have my hands in is like the code or the music, but since there's only three of us, we kind of all wear many hats. So.
Excellent, excellent. You kind of all just kind of work together and focus on your individual parts, but also different parts along the way.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so Xing, The Land Beyond. What is it? How about you tell us a little bit about the background of this game and what it entails?
Awesome. Yeah, so it's a first-person puzzle adventure for the PC and also the Oculus Rift, as you're seeing today. What's actually a story about is it's a story about the afterlife. So you're already dead. Yeah, game over. You died.
You really start that way.
Yeah, already. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to figure out who you are and why you're there. So it's a little bit of a mystery game too. And in that sense, what you do is you're trying to figure out like all of these different answers, and the way that you do that is you actually explore the past lives of other people who are also dead and who have also kind of been stuck in this sort of limbo that you're sent to. So, and you can go into their stories and read like different pieces of poetry that they've left behind to piece together all of that, and it all starts making sense eventually. So
cool. So it's kind of a first-person puzzle exploration game. Trying to kind of track through and figure out who you are and why you are.
Yep.
Excellent, excellent. So what kind of inspiration kind of drove this design towards this game?
Yeah, the whole team, we're all fans of like the Zelda series actually, so we really like a lot of those types of puzzles. Portal was actually a big inspiration too, just because of how so many people were just able to play it without a problem. You know, that accessibility, we wanted to bring that to our game. So like, I have like a brother who like constantly play tests this game, and he has a girlfriend who like never plays video games, but she loves playing this one. So it's
good. It's a good response.
Yeah, it's really awesome to get people who like aren't generally in that sort of hardcore PC type game zone to be playing PC games. And other than that, like a lot of people have commented that it looks like Myst as far.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of that. A lot of people have said it looks a lot like Myst, and it's got that Myst feel and different things along those lines.
Yeah, and we like that too. I mean, Myst was a fantastic game, and so it's definitely not gonna. I don't think it's gonna have the brain busters that Myst had. It's gonna be a little more relaxed, but I mean, definitely atmospheric puzzle game. So. Excellent,
excellent. What engine are you guys working with for this?
Yeah, we actually just recently switched to Unreal Engine 4 from UDK. So we were using UDK for about a year and a half-ish, and then we switched to Unreal 4 maybe 3 months ago. So we've been just rebuilding the game and
fun.
Yeah, but it's a wonderful engine. Like honestly, I would recommend it to anyone starting out too. Like it's
really
fantastic. Yeah.
All right, great. How long have you been working with that? I mean, you said the last 4 months with Unreal. Is that what you said? So how long have you been kind of putting the game together to start?
So we actually started the game in a college classroom. So all three of us met in college, and we started as like a level design 1 project, and we were just going to turn it in after like 1 week, and then our professor was like, you should enter this into a competition, and so then we did that, and then those judges said, do a Kickstarter, and so then we did that, and it exploded into this whole other thing, and we created a company.
Oh wow! So that project is what kind of the seed of this of Xing.
Literally, that's what it
Excellent.
is. It's been called Xing, the whole time, and we added the Land Beyond when we started the Kickstarter to kind of help people figure out what the game was kind of about, because naming. But since I guess the Kickstarter, we really started going into full-time development with the story, getting all of that like really solid. So.
Okay, yeah. When you were starting up the game, what kind of drove the movement towards this kind of game?
To be honest, our knowledge of using the Unreal development kit was what actually started it. So I like really pretty like games, like things that you can play. And when we were working, John really liked like games that have a lot to do with music. and using music in different ways. And so we kind of put together this game. We didn't know like anything about modeling characters or modeling like any of these environments. We knew like nothing, brand new. And so we were like, well, what kind of a game can we make? And we were like, well, a first-person one. And and we started thinking about like what was actually possible for us to do. And so that's part of what drove it. And also part of it too is just we wanted one that was a little more spiritual and mystical in that sense.
It definitely seems to have that feel, especially since you start out dead and you're kind of like seeking answers from that. Yeah.
Definitely.
So as you mentioned, the name Xing was from the start. What does that mean to you guys? Why is the game named Xing?
Sure. So it's actually we pronounce it Xing, but people have interpreted it as well as crossing, because it's like Xing, like you're crossing sort of, and it's a game about crossing the threshold between life and death. So and it's actually takes place in that sort of limbo, that in between. We've studied lots of different religions about like all over the world, different mythologies and stuff too about like what the afterlife is. And so we kind of pieced a lot of that together and made our own fantasy version, using all of those and keeping them in mind of what that afterlife could be.
Excellent. That seems like a great project. It seems like an awesome thing to play. It seems like a great thing to get into. Well, when you guys when's release coming to look around?
So of course that's the golden question. We're trying to finish with development by the end of this year, like really solidly. I mean, we work like 70 hours a week, sometimes 80, just solidly like gotta get it done.
Yeah.
But I mean, with a 3-man team, there's only so much. We're going to be starting testing in October, so it really depends on how long the testing runs and how long QA happens. I mean, this is actually our first game. And so we don't necessarily know how long that's going to be. So it could run into next year, but we're hoping to try to get it out by this year.
Okay, great. It's always good not to push yourself and to go to good pace to make sure you build the game that you want, and that other people. Yes, and free.
Bug free.
Oh, bug free. Yes.
Bug
okay.
free,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's a big key.
We don't want it crashing on day 0.
No, that would be nice. That'd be nice. So, and platforms. What kind of platforms are you seeing for this game release?
Yeah. Well, when we release, we're looking at just the PC and then the Oculus Rift. We're going to continue to support the Oculus Rift as it goes through its many phases.
Excellent.
As far as other ones like Mac and of course the consoles and stuff, I mean, we'll definitely be looking into those. Those will be our next our eyes will be on those. But for right now, we're just working on trying to make a really good game, and then after that, like the game will kind of move into its own platforms.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Koriel, for your time.
Awesome.
It was a great explanation. I think it looks really interesting. I can't wait to kind of dive in and see why I'm dead. Can't wait to figure it out. All right. Well, thanks for your time. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.